Today I've got some facts about Kanji Tatsumi from Persona 4. There will be spoilers from the series, so you have been warned. Kanji Tatsumi is a first-year high school student of Yasugami High and is known to many as a notorious delinquent. His birthday is January 19th, making him a Capricorn. Kanji is the only child of the Tatsumi family, owners of the textile shop in Inaba's central shopping district, and lives with his mother. His father died when he was very young. The Yamagi Inn are patrons to the textile shop, so Yukiko has known him since they were children, but hadn't spoken to each other for a long time. Now, to most people in Inaba, Kanji is seen as a delinquent. The townspeople, including the police, are terrified of him, from beating up biker gangs to even chasing the investigation team. But it turns out that's how he wants people to see him. Despite having a town-wide reputation of wildness and toughness, Kanji's hobbies are the complete opposite. They include sewing, knitting, and other arts and crafts, making all kinds of cute things no one would expect him to make. However, he's afraid of making his hobbies public because they are considered feminine and he fears people may ridicule him for it. Kanji grew up in a family that is extremely open-minded and spiritual of the meaning of things, which made him far more thoughtful to an emotional scale. Remember the biker gang he took down? Turns out the real reason he fought them was because the noise was keeping his mum awake. In case you can't tell, Kanji is sort of a mama's boy and cares for her well-being more than anyone else. He cares for his mother so much that a simple mention of his mother being in a hospital severely unsettles him. Because of his late father's words, "If you're a man, you have to become strong," Kanji misunderstood the meaning and becomes insecure about his masculinity, and as a result of this, he drastically changed his appearance, such as draping his school uniform over his shoulders in a punkish style to emphasize the style he wishes to embody, and begins isolating himself from others. Yu first sees Kanji on TV when he's being interviewed for beating up a biker gang, and his image appears on the Midnight Channel, indicating he is the next target. He becomes the fourth victim and the first male of the case to be thrown into the TV world. Kanji is terrified of having the secrets he has kept for so long, his likes and his true nature revealed, and he suspects that he really does have a feminine heart. As a result, in the TV world, his dungeon takes the form of a steamy bathhouse, a place that represents Kanji's confusion regarding his sexuality. His shadow represents his fear of being shunned and desperation for acceptance, his social ineptitude. Eager to discover the one who kidnapped him, Kanji later joins the investigation team and begins to express more openly his sensitive side to others. He also shows that he is rather naive and airy. Compared to the rest of the team, Kanji tends to be a bit slow on the uptake. He is impulsive and acts faster than he talks, but in the hardest moments he lifts up and spurs others before they can give in and be overcome by difficulties. Because of his feminine hobbies and shadow, who gave the wrong impression that his shadow self reveals a suppressed sexual desire, Kanji's masculinity is put into question, especially by the investigation team. Yosuke Hanamura would most prominently make fun of him for explicitly being attracted to men to help him come to terms with his confusion and insecurities. He does put his masculine side to good use by becoming more caring and protective towards others where it counts, such as when Naoto Shirogane faced their shadow self. Otherwise, he is irreversibly cold when need be, without sympathy, usually to bring sense into people, friend or foe. Speaking of Naoto, I won't go into too much detail about her in this video, but let's just say Kanji has an obvious soft spot for her, that the other members of the investigation team tease him about. In combat, his weapons of choice are blunt objects like a foldable chair, and he can also perform a fusion spell with Naoto called Beauty and the Beast. Kanji's Arcana is the Emperor. He shares this Arcana with the protagonist of Persona 1, Kaito from Persona, Crime and Punishment, Akihiko Sanada in Persona 3, Hidetoshi Odagiri in Persona 3 Portable, and Yusuke Kitagawa in Persona 5. Kanji's initial persona is Take Mikazuchi, also known as Kashima no Kami. He is a Shinto god of thunder that was born from the blood on the sword of Izanagi when he slew the newborn fire god Kagutsuchi. His second awakening is Rokuten Mao, also known as the Demon King of the Sixth Heaven, who symbolizes the lust for power and the desires to attain worldly goals. This title is also referring to Oda Nobunaga, a 16th century warlord who self-proclaimed himself as this particular title. And his third awakening is Takechi Zaiten, the alternative name for Dairoku Tenmao or Rokuten Mao. The name comes straight from the highest realm of the six lust realms, or known as Kamaloka, where the demon lord resides in. Its name means having pleasure from watching over other living things change.
Girls aren't scary.
Guys are much better. They never say those awful things. That's why I like men!
That's not true!
In the Japanese, Kanji is voiced by Tomokazu Seki. He has voiced many characters including Shinya Kogami in Psycho-Pass, Gilgamesh in the Fate franchise, and Toya Kinomoto in Cardcaptor Sakura.
俺はちょっとミステリアスってか強いように見えて意外にっていうか
In the English dub, Kanji has two voice actors, Troy Baker and Matthew Mercer. Troy Baker voices Kanji in Persona 4, Persona 4 Arena, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 4 The Animation through episodes 1 to 12. He has done many roles in both anime, animation, and games, including Yamato and Pain in Naruto Shippuden, Joel Miller in The Last of Us, and Vincent Brooks in Catherine and Catherine Fullbody. He also voices Kane Nanjo in Persona 1 and 2.
Weren't you the one shouting we gotta do this because it is too big for the cops? Yeah, we've been outsmarted so far, but this killer is still running around our town. So what, you gonna puss out?
Matthew Mercer voices Kanji in Persona 4 The Animation, episodes 13 to 26, Persona Q, Shadow of the Labyrinth, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, and Persona 4 Dancing All Night. As well as being the Dungeon Master of Critical Role, he is known for his roles as Kiritsugu Emiya in Fate Zero, God in Fruits Basket, and Trafalgar Law in One Piece. He also voices Taro Namatame in Persona 4 The Animation, and Yusuke Kitagawa in Persona 5.
And if you're wondering why I decided to share this with you, well, it's cause you totally saved my life, dude. That kinda makes you my best bud.
Despite being the youngest member of the investigation team,
Wait, really?
Kanji is the tallest member at 183 centimeters, 2 centimeters taller than you. Also, because of his young age, Kanji is unable to ride a scooter to Okina Station or the beach with his friends. He instead rides a bicycle, but he can still keep up. Kanji's sexuality is one of the most controversial elements of Persona 4. His sexual orientation remains ambiguous across the series, with him being first interested in Naoto Shirogane when first meeting her, believing her to be a boy, but is still attracted to her when it is revealed that she is a girl. Alice prefers to leave the issue of Kanji's sexuality as open to the viewer. Kanji made the Alice costume that Teddy wore during the Miss Yasogami pageant, showing Kanji's talent and expertise when it comes to sewing. Kanji's social link goes over his passive-aggressive and outright aggressive attitude towards people who have made up their mind about him being a delinquent, but with Yu's help he takes the opportunity to change while also realizing he may have misunderstood his father's words. Yu's first encounter with Kanji differs between the game and anime. In the game and manga, Yu first sees Kanji on the news when he beats up a biker gang. In the anime, however, Yu first sees him in school, noticing that he dropped a cute homemade charm on the floor and picked it up for him. And there you have it, Kanji Tatsumi, the manliest of men. Thank you for watching and look forward to more of Persona 4.